Hi, I'm Jamie Lassane Spears, the Family Engagement Specialist at Childcare Answers, and I wanted to take a moment with you just to share a little bit about what inclusive childcare is. But first, before we dive into that, I wanted to share with you that at Childcare Answers, we truly believe that you, the family, and the parent are your child's first teacher and biggest advocate. There will be times when our children will need us to speak up for their rights, for their needs, and for their interests. And finding a quality childcare program is definitely one of those times. You know what your child needs in a program, and as their advocate, we may need to find information, go to meetings, appointments, share that information, and collaborate with caregivers and teachers. So first thing in becoming an advocate for your child, especially if they have a special or specific need, a medical condition, or a delay, is to understand what inclusive childcare is. What is it? So when I speak of inclusive childcare, I'm really speaking to this idea that all children have access to and participation in a high quality program. That this program has supports for family and it has supports for staff to create these inclusive experiences. Inclusive childcare provides the same rights for all children. It is typically defined by access, participation, and supports. So we're going to dive just a little bit deeper into those. For access, this just means giving access to all children, and this access is to be educated in programs alongside their same age peers. It is not simply having access to be enrolled in school, but there's also different access points when it comes to different policies within the program as well. Once they're enrolled, you want to look at all the policies to see if all the policies are inclusive for your child. For example, access means that the program has a transition policy that does not exclude a toddler with a physical delay, medical condition, or a disability from moving on to the next classroom with their same age peers. Additionally, you want to look at those potty training policies. You don't want to find one that excludes children with delays, medical conditions, or disabilities from a program or even a classroom based on their age and their ability to use the bathroom. So those are different access points that you want to look into for inclusive childcare. And then there's participation. Looking at participation is really critical to the inclusive experience. You want all children to have what they need to participate and to engage in play and learning alongside their peers and with their educator and with their teacher and their caregiver. This can look like a classroom offering a variety of activities that meet the same learning goal. This is also known as universal design for learning. We're not going to go deep into that today, but it's definitely something to check out. But what this really means is that children are, for example, writing letters and finding letters, playing with letter blocks, creating letters with Play-Doh or sticks. They're doing a letter play. They're trying to write letters. They're trying to form shapes. They're forming those lines, and they're all doing this with the same goal in mind. Also, a key component is the teacher's willingness to use individual supports to enhance the child's participation in play, and also within their social interactions and learning opportunities. In childcare, this can really look like inviting therapists to come in and provide support inside the classroom so that you can see how the child's going to interact with the materials and then provide those same supports when the therapist is not there in their child's natural play environment. So that is what participation can look like. There's a lot of different ways, but we're just keeping this brief so that you can have some general tips. And then lastly, there's this idea of supports. This does mean supports for the children, and that's critical and important, but it also really focuses on the supports for the teacher, the administration, and the program. The childcare program really needs to have a system in place in order to support their staff so that they can create these inclusive experiences and policies and have that teacher and student ratio that really will support learning in an inclusive environment. This can look like teachers collaborating with outside supports, like those therapists from First Steps, private therapists, but then also there's coaches from our partners at Spark Learning Lab that you can reach out to come in and to work alongside the classrooms as well. Supports can also look like teachers seeking support from you. You, again, are your child's first and best teacher. You know your child best and how they interact with the environment. So please, please, please share your experiences with your teachers, your tips, what to do, what not to do, which can be critical as they're learning how to interact and care and love on and nurture your child's learning in their classroom. At the end of the day, children and families have 4 rights when it relates to finding care, especially care for children with disabilities. They have the right to high quality early childhood education that supports everyone's needs and everyone's individualized learning styles. To learn more about that, you can click the QR code on the screen or go to our page on Paths to Quality for Families at childcareanswers.org. All right, so families and children also have the right to legal protection under the law. And this is really important and critical as an advocate for your child to understand. They have rights to be able to participate in the classroom and have that access to, but these rights are also protected in the law, and they ensure equity, and they ensure access, and they ensure participation. So know the law, understand the law. It's not easy sometimes when you're being bombarded with a lot of information. If you do need help, there's an amazing organization called InSource. You can go to insource.org, and they really have a lot of opportunities and resources just to understand special education law and what it looks like for your child. Children with disabilities and their families also have a right to be a part of a community. It's really important that we say this. It might seem like something you shouldn't have to say, but we do. Children, all children, and parents, all parents thrive in community where they are respected and valued as members who fully participate. So all children have the right to deserve to experience this type of learning and social interactions along, again, their same aged peers. Lastly, each child is unique and can add to their school culture and to their community and should be really respected for who they are. That means their disability included. To learn more about disability rights and understanding disability, you can go to accessibility. They have, again, some resources and tools